My name is Tania Tetlow. I'm a Tulane law professor specializing in domestic violence and violence against women generally. I'm from New Orleans, and I've taught here for 10 years. Before that, I was a federal prosecutor here in New Orleans. Growing up in this city, I've had people close to me arm robbed, raped at gunpoint, murdered. It is part of this city, and it is something that is a burden shared much more widely here, I think, because we all live so close together in ways that I hope makes people understand and care about it, because it doesn't just happen to poor people.
No.
I do have a gun. When a defendant I was prosecuting threatened to have me killed and try to put a hit out on me, the FBI lent me a gun, which did not particularly make me feel safer, but and I still do have it, but I have mixed feelings about it. What is atypical in New Orleans is the level of disorganized violence, the level of just people shooting each other because someone looked at them funny, or they are arguing over something small, and that kind of irrational violence is much higher here than in other parts of the country. What we know is that witnessing domestic violence in the home in particular, literally changes the wiring of the brain in ways that may be permanent, are certainly pretty well ingrained by early childhood, and also literally changes the structure of DNA such that these kids are going to grow up with shorter life expectancies, more prone to chronic illness. It does damage in ways that we're only beginning to understand biologically and psychologically, and so we have to protect those kids. The vast majority of people absolutely want to change how this works, and we're not talking about getting to the point of threatening people's ability to hunt or have guns for self-protection. We're talking about just basic sort of levels of, you don't let people have extraordinary assault rifles or silencers or, crazy cop-killing bullets. The obvious stuff, right? The clear, obvious, low-hanging fruit that the vast majority of people want to do, and somehow our structure of government is such that it's not happening. So in domestic violence, you have the danger of the violence escalating to the point of murder is made a lot worse when somebody has the ability to access a gun, and it just makes it much quicker and easier. So I think that's generally true in this country. We have lots of issues of violence, but the thing that gives us this extraordinary murder rate is because we have so many guns available to so many people. So what might be an extraordinary crime of passion instead just takes half a second and the pull of a finger. There are not that many ways that the criminal justice system can be proactive. It can't fix the economy, it can't fix the school systems, but what it can do is to prioritize family violence, because that is the root of all other violence. So if you start protecting mothers and children from violence in the home, you have both prioritized that violent crime, but you've also stopped another generation of violent criminals from being raised in that abuse. And so if we paid attention to that in the ways that we prioritize, for example, drugs, if we poured as much resources into that, if it became the thing that we care most about, then we could have this double impact of protecting kids and also protecting future generations of victims from kids who grow up to be violent in predictable ways given what they've experienced.